So, welcome. Um, what's your name and uh, why have you shown up?
My name is Steve Boniello, and I'm here through on my path. I've come across CG and his wisdom, his music, words, and his heart. His heart, is really what's resonated with me. Um, um, I consider myself a musician on some level, but also a yogi on some level, and I got in touch with Tuskegee through Rakalam, Bob Moses. I was going to school up in Boston at Berkeley College of Music, and one of my teachers was playing with Rakalam one night, and I went out to check out the music. And yeah, that night Rakalam just kind of he kind of resonated with me. He had this kind of lightness to him, and this kind of I could tell he was in a joyful and happy space. And during that concert, he stopped and said, I want to thank my teacher, mentor, guru, what have you, Tuskegee Munoz, and when he talked of Tuskegee, it kind of triggered something in me. I was like, oh, that, I should look that guy up. I should check him out. I should see what that's about. And so one thing led to another. I had a phone conversation with Rakalam. And it turned out CG was playing over at the Falcon in Marlboro, like within a few days. So I took a bus from Boston, where I was going to school, and I came down to New York and decided to go check out the show. And yeah, the show was just it really struck a chord, so to speak, with me. Just the what was coming through the music, the soul and the spirit. It's kind of like what I'm always looking for in music. It's like that spiritual, or that soulful quality of the music. Where the heart is really coming through. Where the heart is really coming through the music. And Tuskegee just had that, and it was constant. It was like it wouldn't stop. Sometimes I'll go and see other artists, or I'll see other bands, and like there'll be that moment in the night where it feel where things kind of stop, and it feels like there's more presence there. There's more heart. There's more, and it's like and it kind of can give me like goosebumps. It can kind of trigger something in me, but Tuskegee just had that, and it was constant, and I was like, that really had a deep impact on me, and that I was going to school up in Boston at Berkeley, and I think I might have sent Tuskegee an email, after the concert, just a few words, and then he told me to put my spiritual practice first. That was one of the things he said to me. So that kind of got me thinking, because this music did resonate with me so much, and it really, like I said, what I look for in music, it's like it was all there. It was it was there for me, and so when he told me to put my spiritual practice first, it inspired me to transfer out to Naropa University. It's a college out in Boulder, Colorado. And out there, I was still able to study music, but it was also great, to be able to study these different lineages of religions, Buddhism, Taoism, and those were always things I was interested in, and it allowed me to be more in touch with myself and spirit, and it allowed me to be in a community of people that were like-minded and were looking for that kind of that spiritual practice as well. So that was a great experience, and that had a great impact for me. And throughout my time at Naropa and graduating from there, I was always kind of reading Tuskegee stuff, reading his books, and watching the videos. So that always stuck with me. I was learning about these other practices and stuff like that. The Tuskegee's wisdom and words and heart, have always, since I found out about him, they've kind of stayed with me. And so I eventually had a conversation with Rock Alam recently, and he inspired me to encourage me to get in touch with Tuskegee, and yeah, I did, and I told him I would like to come and sit down with him and take some time, and he was graciously willing to have me here. So yeah, that's how I got here.
Yeah, and so Naropa is an institution founded by Chogyam Trungpa, who's one of the sort of early Buddhists who encountered Western culture kind of and could actually, really work with it. Did you, before transferring, while you were playing music, have a Buddhist interest, or did that spring up when you started having some sort of interaction with Rock Alam and Tuskegee?
I think on some level I had some Buddhist interest. I'd read some basic books. I think I might have read one of Chogyam Trungpa's books. I forget exactly which one. But yeah, no, it kind of picked my interest. The practice and the principles and the religion of Buddhism. But before I transferred there, before I got in touch with Rock Alam, I was practicing yoga, trying to do yoga 3-4 times a week, and that and I noticed that had a big impact on how I would live my daily life, just breathing techniques, and I've been doing Bikram yoga. It's like the hot yoga, which really is it's a both mental and body, and spiritual practice, in that you're in a hot room and you're really forced to just breathe, to just really focus on your breath, and kind of allow that mental clutter and things fall away while you're doing the postures. So I was doing that before I talked to Rock Alam, but to answer your question, the Buddhism, it was definitely there. The interest in it was there, but I had never I kind of wanted to delve more into it, which kind of was sparked by meeting Rock Alam and finding out about Tuskegee, and then transferring to Naropa. So yeah.
And did the music and the yoga practice, and whatever sort of Hindu or Buddhist influences were already on your mind, were they creating? Did you see parallels before meeting Tuskegee, or how has that changed and or integrated since you have begun, say, listening to Tuskegee, reading some of his books, or maybe even today for your first visit? How has that shifted for you? Is there still a separation? Is there now no separation?
Mm.
What's your perception of that?
I think, I think before I learned about Tasiji, I think I kind of had the feeling that, practicing yoga and, breathing techniques and meditation and stuff like that, was having was allowing me to be more at peace, So I think, and then I it allowed me to like kind of focus more and to be more aware. So that had a positive impact on both, living and music. Obviously, like playing improvisational music, you're showing up, and you're in a room and you want to be present. You want to be aware and be true to the moment. Is for improvisational music, but I think definitely learning about Tasiji and finding out about Tasiji definitely like really kind of drove that home. Drove that point home of the yoga practice and that comes through the music. It's not about taking in all this other stuff. It's more about being at peace, and it's more about what your experience and what your heart has to say. So the yoga allowed me to connect with that more, and to be more in touch with that, and to learn about Tasiji and to learn about his music and teachings. That definitely it drove that point home. So it was like, I kind of, it was like, I could like take a exhale, and I was like, oh yeah, nice. Like that makes sense. It just kind of clicked,
And so, what do you think of your first visit? There's been a certain lead up to it.
Yeah,
and here you are now.
Absolutely. So far, I'm really grateful for Tasiji to have me in his home, there's definitely been a lead up. That was 3 years ago when I was at Berkeley and ran into Rock Alam, and the teachings have always been there, but I'm not sure that I was always maybe ready to take that leap, or to take to really be like, no, I should really try and get in touch with him, and because reading more and listening more to the music and the teachings, a lot of the other things that I've latched onto that have kind of like fallen away a little bit, things even about music, that I've once like pursuing to make a living off of music, that's, I don't know, it's kind of fallen away a little bit, and certain things have felt a little more hollow, I would say, in a sense. So it felt like I was at the point where I wanted to have direct contact with Tasiji, and graciously he's welcomed me here, and I'm really grateful for him having me here. So I think I answered that.
Yeah. So you feel like you're ready to be here?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I'm ready to be here. I feel like I needed to take a little extra leap and jump, to get here, to make contact with him, and it feels really, really good to be here, and I do feel good about it.
What has your experience been of encountering him directly as compared to remotely?
I feel like, remotely, it's like when I'm watching the videos or when I'm reading the book, the essence and the wisdom of the teachings is there, and it's I can connect with it like on a intellectual level and a heart level but when I've been here, even in the short time that I've been here, it's the presence and the heart and the essence behind all that stuff. It's he's really living it, and just egoless, loving person and spirit. So to be here and to witness that firsthand is definitely, again, I'm really grateful for that, and yeah, it's been, I feel very blessed to be able to do that.
Do you have a sense of why you're here?
Yeah, I would say to learn more about practice, and to continue with what I have learned from the books, the teachings, and the music, and to really be here and see it in person. I think is an important step, and I think to be able to see what I need to work on, and see what I need to let go of, and to have direct contact and experience. I think that's it's ultra important to the process. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And so in terms of your sense of need, it got to a certain point. Do you have a way of articulating what that need was, or what you needed? What do you either need to get, or what you either need to be free of? Do you have like for most people there's a certain kernel of like urgency, a certain in some cases like people have no idea, they're just here and it's like the most important thing they've ever done, or just floated in and kind of like stubbing your toe on something accidentally and whoops, now you're in this thing. But do you feel like you're here like and nothing could possibly keep you away, or where do you fall on that kind of thing? Am I being relatively clear?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I would say that I mean, like I said, from the teachings in the books, like I kind of came to a point, where I was at a point where maybe suffering, and just from self, just from self-created bullshit, from shit that I've created myself, and seeing that I could benefit, or I could open more, be more liberated and be more free if I was able to let that stuff go. So to be here and to be into CG's presence, and to see what's going on. I would say I need to be here, and it's something I feel like I came here for a reason, and to pursue practice, and to continue with my practice and letting go of self.
Yeah. And you've already encountered what are some of the more influential spiritual practices that this country has to offer in terms of Buddhism. Like Chogyam's writings as people. Why here? Why not there?
I would say that definitely the music has played a huge impact on that. The other teachers are doing their thing, and they have, there's plenty of wisdom out there. Different teachers and different teachings from all over the world, but especially as you mentioned here in the United States, like Chogyam Trungpa. I would say here and now, because of through playing music and just having that resonance with the sound, I think is what it comes down to, is the Tsukiji sound and how he plays the guitar is definitely drawn me here as opposed to somewhere else, as opposed to another teacher, another yeah. So yeah, I would say the music, being a musician, and it's just it's affected me on a deep level. So yeah.
Great. What do you hope to get from this? Get from any association that you may have or cultivate?
I hope to be able to let go more of what's obstructing me, of what's holding me back from being truly creative and truly true to myself and my heart, to learn and listen, and realize and be aware of what I need to work on, and what to let go of, and leave that behind me.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hugh.
Hugh.